In the previous class, that means in the first hour, we have discussed three particular topics. One is sampling process, sample and hold circuit, along with applications, and next topic we have discussed is ideal sampler. Okay, in those three topics, sample and hold circuit, along with the applications and ideal sampler are very important. Why? Because those particular two topics is repeatedly asked. Okay. Now, for this class, I am going to discuss about the topic zero order hold. This zero order hold question is also very important. It is very important. In this zero order hold, he used to ask us the frequency response of the zero order hold and basic operation dealing with the zero order hold circuit. Okay. In the previous class, we have discussed the sample and hold circuit. Sample and hold circuit. So, the hold circuit for digital signal processing, that means for discrete signal processing, the hold circuit is majorly used is only the zero order hold circuit. The hold operation is going to be carried out with the zero order hold circuit. Okay. The main drawback in digital signal processing or digital signal is the holding pattern. The holding pattern. Okay. Therefore, the problem in the real world handling with the discrete signal is to overcome the hold operation. Hold. Holding means holding the sampling of a continuous signal into the discrete signal for a particular time period, for a prescribed time period. Okay, this is the major drawback which comes under in discrete signal processing. So, in order to overcome this problem, the hold circuit is implemented as the zero order hold circuit. The zero order hold circuit. Basically, in discrete signal processing for holding operation, zero order hold is used practically to give different kinds of applications. Okay. Now, coming to the basic definition of the zero order hold is it is nothing but a hold device. As I have previously explained that it is the simplest hold device that holds the value of the sample signal. That means sampling process is carried out with the holding operation. Sampling operation is going to be carried out with holding operation. Therefore, the device which holds the sampled signal, which holds the sampled signal until the next sample is going to be arise. Okay, the zero order hold is nothing but a device which holds the sample signal at one instant, and this holding process is carried out until the next instant arrives. Until the next instant arrives. So that particular device is called as zero order hold circuit. Zero order hold circuit. Therefore, the basic definition is the simplest hold device that holds the sampled signal at one instance until the next instant arrives. Is simply called as zero order hold. Zero order hold. Why? Because in discrete signal processing, the main drawbacks comes is that means during the process of sampling and holding of discrete time signal, the basic drawback occurs in holding operation. So to overcome that holding operation, a separate device is going to be fabricated. That device is called as zero order hold circuit. Zero order hold circuit. That means it is going to store, that means hold a sampled signal at one instance, and this holding operation is going to be maintained until the next instant arrives. Okay. Now that means this holding operation is going to be carried out between two consecutive instants. If two different signals are going to be preceded side by side, preceded side by side, one signal is going to be holded with the zero order hold. Why? Because in order to reconstruct the original signal, one signal has to be holded with this particular zero order hold. That means when two different consecutive signals are going to be sampled simultaneously, one of the signal has to be holded by the zero order hold in order to reconstruct the original signal. That means, let us suppose if f of kt means if f of kt is a sampled signal at one instant, that means at instant of t is equal to t is equal to k into t. If f of kt is a sampled signal at one instant, that instant is small t is equal to k into t. And this holding operation is going to be maintained until next next instant is going to be arrived. That next instant is nothing but k plus 1 into t. The first instant is k into t. The next instant is k plus 1 into t. That means this holding operation is going to be maintained at a time interval of kt to k plus 1 into t. Kt to k plus 1 into t. That means holding operation is going to be instantaneously started at time period kt, and its holding operation is maintained until k plus 1 into t. Okay, this is the basic holding operation. Holding operation where f of kt is the sampled signal. F of kt is the sampled signal. So in this diagram, we are able to see that f of t here, f of t is a analog signal. It is going to be given as an input to the ideal sampler. Therefore, the analog signal is going to be converted into the digital signal as f star of t. F star of t. So whenever this f star of t is going to be given as an input to the whole circuit, we are going to get the sampled signal as f of kt. Sampled signal as f of kt. That means this holding operation is going to be carried out with a multiplication of impulse train. As I have previously told, in ideal sampler, in holding operation, the analog signal is going to be converted into the digital signal, and holding operation is carried out with a multiplication of impulse signal with the sample signal, impulse signal to the sample signal. Therefore, here in the diagram we are able to see that f of t is an analog signal which is given as an input to the ideal sampler. Then it is going to be converted into the f star of t. F star of t, that means digital signal. So during this holding operation, it has to be multiplied. That means the discrete time signal has to be multiplied with the holding operation. Holding operation means the discrete signal has to be multiplied with the impulse train. The impulse train. Therefore, with this particular multiplication, the discrete signal is going to be converted into the sampled signal. Sampled signal as f of kt. That means how f of t is going to be converted into f of kt. F of t is converted as f star of t. In this f star of t, the discrete signal is going to be multiplied with impulse train. Therefore, after that multiplication, that particular f star of t is going to be converted into f of k. F of k. Okay, where f of kt is nothing but the sampled. F of kt is nothing but sampled signal. So here we are going to derive the frequency characteristics of this particular zero order pole. frequency characteristics of the zero order pole. When this frequency characteristics is going to be obtained, whenever the sampling period capital T tends to zero, whenever the sampling period capital T tends to zero, the output of the zero order pole approaches to the continuous time signal. That means whenever the sampling time T tends to zero, the output of the zero order pole, that means analog signal is going to be converted into the again sampled analog signal. After the zero order pole, the analog signal which is given as an input to the sampler, it is going to be converted into the analog signal, but that analog signal is called as a sampled analog signal. Okay, when this particular process is going to be carried out, whenever the sampling period capital T tends to 0. Okay, and this zero order pole circuit is a linear device. Why? Because it is going to satisfy the superposition theorem. It is a linear device. Why? Because it is always satisfying the principle of superposition. Always satisfying the principle of superposition. Okay, now this is the impulse response of a zero order pole. Impulse response of a zero order pole, that is nothing but GH naught of T is nothing but called as zero order pole with a time period capital T, sampling period of capital T. Therefore, based on the ideal sampler, that means ideal sampler means the analog signal, sorry, the discrete signal has to be multiplied with the impulse function. Impulse function. Therefore, the impulse response of the zero order pole with respect to this particular figure can be written as this zero order pole circuit is GH naught of T is equal to U of T is nothing but at starting instant. At starting instant, that means whenever the whole operation is started, that is going to be represented as U of T. And when the holding operation is going to be released, when at this particular instant, that means U of T minus U of T minus capital T. U of T, this is the instant of U of T, and this is the instant of U of T minus capital T. T minus capital T. This is the impulse response of the zero order pole with respect to the figure, with respect to this particular figure. So upon application of the Fourier transform, the GH naught of T can be converted as GH naught of S. That means T domain is converted into the S domain is equal to 1 minus means the step function. Fourier transform of the step function is 1 minus U of T minus capital T means the Fourier transform is this shifted impulse function can be represented as e power minus T s divided by s. Therefore, upon equating, the Fourier transform of GH naught of T is equal to GH naught of s, that is again equals to 1 minus e power minus Ts divided by small s. 1 minus e power minus Ts divided by small s. So just substituting the value of s as j omega. The value of s as j omega. Therefore, GH naught of j omega is equal to 1 minus e power minus j omega into capital T divided by j omega. This is converted as P is going to be converted as S with the application of Fourier transform. And again, the S is going to be replaced as j omega. The S is going to be replaced with j omega. Therefore, GH of j omega can be given as 1 minus e power minus j omega t divided by j omega. So upon certain simplification and calculation, of this particular equation, it is going to be converted as capital T into sine omega t capital T into sine omega t divided by 2 whole divided by omega t divided by 2 into e power minus j omega t divided by 2. That means one is going to be replaced. The number one is going to be replaced as e power minus j omega t divided by 2 into e power plus j omega t divided by 2. The same fashion, e power j omega t can be replaced as e power j omega t divided by 2 into e power minus j omega t divided by 2. Okay, so upon certain simplification and calculation, the gh of j omega, gh of j omega can be taken as capital T into capital T into sine of omega t divided by 2 whole divided by omega t divided by 2 into e power minus j omega t divided by 2. Okay. Finally, gh of j omega, gh naught of j omega can be taken as capital T into sine of omega t divided by 2 whole divided by omega t divided by 2 into e power minus j omega t divided by 2. Okay, this is the final impulse response of the zero order cold circuit. Zero order cold circuit. So, so we are all familiar that the time period or the sampling rate can be taken as 2 pi divided by omega s. 2 pi divided by omega s. This is a familiar regarding to the time period. Therefore, the T capital T is going to be replaced as gh naught of j omega is equal to just substituting the value of capital T here. Here, just substituting the value of capital T as 2 pi by omega s. 2 pi by omega s. We are going to rewrite that equation as gh naught of j omega is equal to 2 pi divided by omega s into sine of pi omega divided by omega s whole divided by pi omega divided by omega s into e power minus j omega divided by omega s. Okay, this is the basic equation. This is the final equation for the frequency response of the zero order whole circuit. This is the final equation which is representing the frequency response of the zero order whole circuit. So for this particular equation, we are going to frame the magnitude and phase plot. We are going to obtain the magnitude and phase plot. Therefore, therefore the magnitude, therefore the magnitude of gh naught of j omega can be taken as modulus of that means 2 pi divided by omega s is a constant value. It is going to be taken separate and remaining value can be taken as modulus. Modulus means modulus of sine of pi omega divided by omega s whole divided by pi omega divided by omega s. And similarly, the phase of this particular fundamental equation is angle of gh naught of j omega can be taken as angle of sine of omega pi omega divided by omega s minus that means this angle is going to be taken into the numerator. Therefore, the positive value is going to be converted into the negative value. Therefore, the phase angle of this particular gh naught of j omega can be taken as angle of sine of pi omega divided by omega s minus pi omega divided by omega s. Therefore, the phase is going to be represented in radians. Radians. Okay, this is the magnitude and this is the phase equation of the frequency response of the zero order pole circuit. Based upon this fundamental equation, we are going to frame the magnitude and phase plot of gh naught of j omega. Gh naught of j omega. Therefore, the sign, that means what is the sign? The sign of phase angle of gh naught of j omega changes at every intervals of pi omega divided by omega s. That means if at an instant of 0, the sign of the phase angle is positive, After the instant of pi omega divided by omega s, the sign of the phase angle is going to be converted to minus. Converted to minus. That means for every 180 degrees rotation, the sign is going to be changed from positive to negative and negative to positive and negative to positive. Okay, the phase angle of GH naught of j omega at every instant of pi omega divided by omega s, it is going to change the sign from positive to negative and negative to positive. That means for every 180 degrees rotation of the phase angle, the sign is also going to be changed from positive to negative and negative to positive. Okay, so using this particular magnitude equation and phase equations, we are going to plot the frequency responses. Okay, the first figure is going to be represents the magnitude plot of GH naught of j omega. Magnitude plot of GH naught of j omega. That means that means the first figure is nothing but the magnitude. The first figure is nothing but the magnitude, and second figure is nothing but phase angle. First figure is magnitude, and second figure is phase angle. So in this one, we are able to see that in magnitude plot, for every instance, the positive sign is going to be converted into the negative sign. Sorry, in phase, while observing this particular second diagram, phase angle responses of GH naught of j omega, the initial sign is positive. That is at 0. For every instance of pi omega divided by omega s, that means at point 1, the positive sign is going to be converted to the negative sign. The positive sign is going to be converted to the negative sign. And for every rotation of minus 180 degrees, here we are able to see that for every rotation of minus 180 degrees, the sign is going to be changed. Okay. And while talking about the magnitude plot of the zero order whole circuit, at cutoff frequency, that means at cutoff frequency means omega is divided by 2. It is very similar to the ideal low pass filter response. Why? Because whenever the that means after the cutoff frequency, the amplitude or the magnitude characteristics of GH naught of j omega is approaches to the zero. That means at the instant of the cutoff frequency, the magnitude plot of the GH naught of j omega is maximum. That is at unity. So after the cutoff frequency means that is omega c, this particular magnitude response is going to be, that means amplitude characteristics of the zero order whole circuit approaches to the zero. Okay, these are the two frequency responses of the zero order whole circuit with respect to the magnitude plot and phase plot. Okay, this is very very important questions which is directly asked for 7 marks in your university questions, sorry, university examinations. Okay, once again, zero order whole circuit is nothing but a device which holds the sample signal at one instant until the next instant is going to be arrives. That means if f of kt is the sample signal, it is going to be holds for an instant of kt until this particular holding operation is going to be maintained up to the next sampling instant, that is k plus 1 into t. Therefore, after this, we are going to frame the impulse response of the zero order whole circuit. Impulse response of zero order whole circuit means the sample signal is going to be multiplied with impulse response. That means GH naught of t can be taken as u of t minus capital T. So after taking the Fourier transform for this one, we are going to get GH naught of S is equal to 1 minus e power minus Ts divided by small s. And after that, substituting S is equal to j omega, we are going to get the GH naught of j omega s capital T into sine omega t divided by 2 whole divided by omega t divided by 2 into e power minus j omega t divided by 2. Okay. For this one, we are going to frame, that means we are going to rewrite the magnitude and phase response. Magnitude and phase response. And the sign changes is going to be happen for every interval of pi omega d divided by omega s. And these are the frequency responses with respect to the magnitude and phase angle. Magnitude and phase angle. After the cutoff frequency, that means omega c, the amplitude or the magnitude characteristics is of GH naught of j omega is approaches to zero. Is approaches to zero. Simple and easy question. It is also very, very important questions. Okay. So with this, I'm going to wind up the class for today. So for this today, I have completed 4 different topics. One is the sampling process, sample and hold circuit, ideal sampler, and zero order hold circuit. Okay. Unit 1 of digital control systems is very small. It can be completed within 5 to 6 classes. 5 to 6 classes. It is somewhat different with the comparing with the another 5 units. So try to concentrate on this one. And thank you everyone. Have a nice day.